But you see Yong Ho King here actually reading that shot and almost enticing him to play it straight at him. And then squatting down and playing a nice flat panhandle defence off it to push it over Wong's head. Again, incredible reactions.
13-10. Well, it's quite obvious now why Yong Ho King wanted to really try and push deep in that backhand corner. It's game point. And that's wide. And Yong Ho King, the #2 seed, has taken the opening game in 28 minutes of play. 15-10 confirmation of that score. But he had to come back from a 5-9 deficit early on. While the smash had been serving Wong Chun Han so well at the early stages. But just losing his way a little bit. He seemed to almost know that eventually Yong Ho King would come back. And I mean, if these two men are playing each other in practice every day, and if you keep losing every day, even in practice, it's very difficult come to the match situation to then turn that around.
It's certainly a huge barrier. And of course, I think he stuck to his game plan very, very well then, and didn't start pulling to that forehand side of the net until he really needed the points, until it was 8-9 in the first game, and then he had a flurry of 3 or 4 points by exposing the backhand side, pulling Wong over to the forehand side of the net, exposing his backhand and pushing deep down his backhand. Of course, got error after error from that particular tactic.
Thank you. Second game.
So, second game about to start. Of course, the players now in badminton get a 90-second timeout in between the first and second game, and usually the opportunity to talk to their coaches. But of course, two Malaysian players playing one another, and the national coach, Morten Frost, not getting involved at all. Yong Ho King breaking the strings of his racket with that last shot. New racket required. But Mike, I mean, tactically, it was quite obvious what happened at the latter stages of that opening game. But I think perhaps the thing that impressed me was the fact that Yong Ho King didn't panic.
No, he just sat back and weathered the storm, really, knowing that he had the game to beat him at the end. And I think hoping that Wong would actually crack towards the end when the pressure came on to get those last few points. Again, Wong is coming out here and attacking him from the start, which I think was inevitable that he had to start doing this again.
Over. Love 1.
So, Yong Ho King, far end as we look down, the #2 seed in the tournament. Wong Chun Han, the younger of the two men and the taller of the two men as well. Nearest to us.
Over. 1-0.
Wong Chun Han again finding those angles.
You can see that Yong Ho King was just off his base there, wasn't quite centre in the court, and left his forehand side quite exposed. But that was much better. He was right on his base then, legs spread, looking for the smash. You see coming across here to pick it up nice and early, taking it about knee to thigh height, and able to push it back quickly at Wong and cause the error.
Yes, it was that recovery after defending the smash that was just so good.
So fast.
Service over. 1-0.
When these men hit the shuttle out, it is by absolute centimetres.
Well, that's short. And easily disposed of by Wong Chun Han.
2-1.
And that really was an example of the use of the net play, setting up the short lift.
Yes, indeed. These tumbling net shots are so hard to retrieve because you have to let the spin come out of the shuttle before you can actually hit the shuttle backwards.
1-2.
And if you don't, you hit the feathers first.
You hit the feathers first, and of course it's very, very hard to control the shot then.
Over. 2-1.
Wong Chun Han just indicating that the court needs some attention there. Perspiration from the players
Okay, thank you.
drops down onto the court surface, and it can become quite dangerous, quite slippy. Nicely done.
3-1.
Oh, took the shuttle so early at the net, Yon Hok Kin.
Very, very quick unit. Absolute classic net shot. Racket handle high, racket head angled towards the net, and tumbling the shot over.
And that's long of the back line. And Mike, I have to say, in general terms, the rallies in this final aren't as long as either men had to cope with in the semi-finals. Of course, the rally's much harder fought. Is it just a case of them knowing each other's games so well?
Yes, I think it is, Joe. These men, as you say, play each other day in, day out at the Malaysian Academy of Badminton. And they really have to start going for shots. They know that if there's just rallying, that one of them is going to make a mistake at the end of the day. So they've got to both try and take command of the rallies.
So just to prove me wrong, they have a very long, hard-fought rally.
This is a testing rally for both men. Such an array of shots being played from such different angles, using the whole court.
Over. 4-1.
Well, I think as far as Wong Chun Han is concerned, if he's to get back in this match, he's got to do more of that. That was working so well for him in the opening game, but the key, he has to get behind the shuttle quickly.
He has to. He has to get behind the shuttle quickly, hit it downwards, and then look for that loose return from the smash.
Especially down the forehand side?
Especially down that forehand side. But he needs to keep varying it, otherwise I think Yon Hok King is going to start reading it again. So putting the occasional cross-court smash and even the occasional cross-court slice drop. I haven't seen many reverse slices from that corner as yet. All those things will keep Yon Hok King guessing and stop him reacting early to the shuttle.
Malaysia, of course, guaranteed the gold medal here in the men's singles, and they've won the gold medal in this event on the last 2 occasions at the Commonwealth Games. Rashid Sadek winning both in Auckland and in Victoria. Not making the team this time around. And Mike, when you look at the sort of young talent they've got, it's not altogether surprising. I mean, these 2 men, really the future of Malaysian badminton.
Yes, Malaysia just seem to be producing male badminton players almost like a production line at the moment.
4.
But of course it's fair to say that their ladies are improving at an alarmingly good rate as well.
Yes, of course, the ladies taking the silver medal in the team event.